Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another episode of Chinese Faction Preview. We are back on cavalry. We are again on cavalry since the last video was also on cavalry, but this time on Sun Ren. So we are comparing her and how she plays on cavalry compared to Lu Bu and Cao Cao, and what she offers on cavalry as opposed to when she's played on glaives. All those videos you can check out on the Chinese Faction Preview playlist that I have made. A link to it in the top right corner, as well, I guess, at the end of the video. So, since Sun Ren doesn't have that many synergies with abilities themselves, she cannot use her piercing shot. Let's focus on her actual... not her, sorry. Let's focus on cavalry, since we haven't done that for the neither Lu Bu or Cao Cao videos. So, well, let's first leave the shallow water because that gives us a debuff. I guess I'll just go fuck around for the time being. Okay, melee attack 126, melee weapon damage 206, impact damage 206, charge impact 285, melee weapon penetration damage only 23, morale flank damage 56. As for the comparison, well, since this is fucking chaos in here, so I don't really have anything to compare it to on this tier. The Median Vanguard, kind of. Shallow water, yeah, it's too hard to make a comparison like this, like inside a battle. So I'll just present you the stats, right, and then you can see in the game itself. You can see the stats of all the other tier 10 cavalries and then make the comparison yourselves. So sorry for not being able to provide a perfect comparison in here. Well, anyway, let's go out into the open to be able to continue our research. Then again, the forest doesn't affect these stats, well, it does affect the defense, right? Yep.
Our unit is under attack.
Okay. So we've got 62 melee defense, 207 charge deflect, missile block chance 69, shield melee defense 21. And then survivability, shield armor 32, morale 66, body armor 126, health 519. Mobility, view range 94, acceleration 5, movement speed 8, so we are quite fast. Turn speed 160, deceleration 6. So those are the stats, and now let's talk about Sun Ren herself and her synergy with cavalry. As I said, it's not really as good as Lu Bu or Cao Cao because she doesn't have that second ability, right? That just straight up. She can use only 2 out of 3 of her abilities as opposed to the other 2 commanders who can use all of them. That already makes her a little bit weaker, but she still has her own niche, which she excels at, which is the mobility, right? It is provided through deadly precision, plus 125% movement, minimum movement speed, which is a more powerful version of Cao Cao's one step ahead. So you can use that to even higher advantage in forests and other situations that involve terrain against enemies, like enemy cavalry. Or you can just be very quick if anybody tries to run away through a forest. You don't really care. Look at the anvil. And the cycling of it. Hard anvil. Okay, mount kick, disengage.
We have the strength.
Our unit has recovered.
Okay, let's use deadly precision. Makes us faster, makes it easier to run away.
Quickly. Attack.
A new cavalry point has become
Get the slingers. And then your strikes also, if you're in such a big fight here, you can apply that silence to multiple enemies. That's pretty nice. Then again, that debuff isn't really long. What is it, 4 seconds? Yep. So essentially the combo on Sun Ren would be use deadly precision if you can. Makes you faster, so makes it easier to land charges, makes them more powerful.
An enemy player has been eliminated.
Then after you charge in, use Tenacity of Steel because, well, melee weapon damage scales with strikes,
Break their line.
just like the deadly precision damage would do as well. So Tenacity of Steel,
Strength.
you use Throat Strike, which silences the enemies. Then you use Mount Kick.
Capture point.
Then you disengage.
Our unit is under attack.
Well, doesn't really work on cavalry because you cannot knock down cavalry. So, works on infantry. More or less. But yeah, there's not really that much to cover in Sun Ren. She's not that great of a cavalry commander, but as I said, yeah, she does have her niche. Which... I would rather stay away from Sun Ren in solo queue, unless you have like a very precise plan in mind to use her. But in terms of tournaments, where you know which map you're going with, and maybe you saw already the picks of the enemies, and you're like, okay, we'll need a cavalry that is very mobile in a forest, and then Sun Ren is for you. And when it is plus 25% movement speed, I know momentum exists and Barbarian Cavalry is just faster with the base speed. Then again, Tiger and Leopard Cavalry is tankier than Barbarian Cavalry. So, you know, it's not only like it's all about the speed, there are other factors to consider as well. But if you're talking tournaments, I guess Barbarian Cavalry would still be the king, as it has always been, pretty much.
Melee
Our
cavalry.
unit has recovered.
Can Chinese cavalry really rival them, challenge their throne?
Double time.
I mean, it really depends on the speed stats that you can pull off and how well they do in melee. But in Sun Ren, I don't know. Cao Cao? Probably Cao Cao if anyone.
Quick. March.
I mean, Lu Bu would also work,
Attack.
but in a tournament? I don't know, but I guess tournaments are not really what interests most of my viewers, so that's just me doing a little bit of theory crafting. But it depends on so many factors, your plans, etc. So there's no really point discussing it, because that's a discussion to really to be had over several hours. So well, let's repeat our basic combo. It is
Capture point is contested.
deadly precision, charge in,
Their line. Run.
increases your movement speed, then tenacity of steel,
Victory.
then, well, not mount kick,
Feel my
and
wrath.
throat strike and mount kick after throat strike.
Attack.
Well, depends on whether or not you want to disengage or not. If you don't want to disengage, like I don't want in this case, right, then I guess use mount kick first, throat strike later.
The enemy team has been eliminated.
Then again, apparently I can apply flanks to these dogs. Didn't care about having any flanks.
Secure the capture point.
Fight. You are not dead yet.
Yeah, and remember to use tenacity of steel before using a strike, like I did.
Quickly.
An enemy player has been eliminated.
Run.
Okay, let's look for an opportunity to use the proper combo on some infantry, hopefully.
Enemy team has been eliminated.
Okay.
AP maybe?
The enemy base is under attack.
In the meantime, while we have this moment, please guys, let me know what you think about Sun Ren and the Chinese cavalry in general, right? We've covered their stats.
An enemy player has been
Oh, that's a lot of infantry. I guess I would want to charge into that. Well, not after maybe Koyuska and Arkinon engage them. in Volksgut in Georgia. La.
Quick. March.
So how do you think the Chinese cavalry? Because it is about cavalry, not really about Sun Ren. Well, it's cavalry plus Sun Ren synergy and her combos and basic tactics. Yeah, let me know, guys, what you think about all these topics.
Death.
Okay, deadly precision charge.
Unmatched.
A new capture point.
I mean, they don't really care, but whatever.
Victory.
Throat strike,
Kill them.
mount kick,
Quickly.
bam. And you run away! We do a Monty Python reference.
Has been eliminated.
Or a JoJo's reference. Pick one. Because you don't really want to be caught
Our unit is
in
routed.
the middle of so many enemy infantry units. You want to wait for them to engage.
Our unit has recovered.
They're leaving one behind to prevent the recharges. Oh no, they right-clicked on me. No! Right-click is OP. Okay, now they're engaging. Great. Yeah.
Death.
Deadly precision if available. If not, then not. Well, the battle ended, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the basic Sun Ren combo. I mean, it still works. Like, you still have 2 strikes. Tenacity of Steel buffs your, and well, both Tenacity of Steel and Deadly Precision buff your strike damage. Not as much as either Lubu. Well, no, wait. So doesn't have strike damage buffs. So it doesn't buff your strike damage. So Sun Ren has that, I guess, like higher strike damage. Maybe, I guess. Then again, Opportunist is much better strike ability than Throat Strike is. But that silence can also be used. Like, if you silence the enemy, then they, for example, they cannot anvil you after you charge them. And then again, it all depends on timing, and anvil is easier to apply because charge itself silences you. So yeah, it's much easier to apply anvil and silence the cavalry before the cavalry silences you with Throat Strike. And as you would like let you do it like frame perfect. I guess it comes down to skill, but then again, higher skill sailing or even floor for the cavalry other than the Anvil Alexander player, whatever he plays. But yeah, let me guys know in the comments below what you think about Sun Ren before my brain fries entirely. And while you're there, friendly fire that subscribe button, help us bring to the war back to the west. Stay notified about any future Chinese faction preview videos. And until then, I'll see you on Arenas Battlefields, Commanders.